anything like me, you definitely know the feeling of having too many tasks, so you get overwhelmed, so you do nothing instead of something. So, I have 3 methods, and one of them doesn't work every time, but the other 2 usually do work. Okay, so the first one is the 2-minute method. Basically, you tell your brain that you're going to do this task for exactly 2 minutes, because 2 minutes to your brain is a much more easily attainable amount of time rather than studying for 30 minutes or an hour. Therefore, your brain will be able to actually start the task and is much more likely to continue the task after the 2 minutes than how likely it was to start the task in the first place. Also, when you've actually finished the 2 minutes, your brain is most likely to actually try to finish the task, or at least get further along the task than just the 2 minutes, because your brain likes closure, basically, and leaving things unfinished is something that our brains don't like to do most of the time. If we're very much dreading the task, we do leave things unfinished a lot of the times, but at least you'll do probably more than 2 minutes, and at least you'll have started and you'll be able to actually continue eventually. Method number 2 is the do something else method. Another method which usually works is that you do something more or less related to the task that you're supposed to be doing, so you end up slowly transitioning into the task that you are supposed to be doing. So for example, if I need to sit down at my desk to make a YouTube video or to study, a task which I could do is I could organize my desk so I'm in the area, and then I will be more inclined to actually sit down in my chair and study than I was in the first place, where I was overwhelmed with the amount of things on my desk that I need to do. Basically, you do something that's more or less related or in the same area that you're going to do the original task, so then you'll be able to transition into the original task much easier. The last method, which doesn't work all the time, and it can sometimes not work at all, is the deal with it later method. If anyone here has ADHD, you probably know the feeling of leaving a task until the very last minute and then being able to do it perfectly. You'll be able to finish it and get it done, and most of the time you'll be able to finish the things that you're supposed to be doing. So basically that's what the deal with it later method is. You're just dealing with it later. You're just gonna say, I'll do it later, until you really have to do it now, and your brain is like, okay, I'm gonna do this and we're gonna do this. It's much easier to start like that than organically, because organically it's a bit more difficult and it can lead to more procrastination, and this specific method kind of leans into the procrastination and allows your brain to procrastinate and let it keep on stressing you out to a certain point, and then you can do the task literally at the last minute. Okay, so those were the 3 methods. Basically, if you've made it to this point in the video, you are literally an amazing person, because usually people leave after the first minute or 2. So if you are still here, please consider hitting that subscribe button, maybe even the like button if you're feeling fancy, but it will really help me out, and we could grow this channel a bit together. Thanks.